There we go. All right. Um, so let me get things fixed up here because obviously it's not showing everything that it needs to show, and then we will go ahead and get right into it. There we go. All right. So back to Pega. Um, uh, so it's been a day or two since I last did some Pega streaming. Oop, let me. For some reason, it switched over to live. I don't know why it did that, but okay. Um, or it switched over to starting. I don't know why, but whatever. Okay. Um, so it's been a day or two since I've done any kind of Pega stream. Last one had some difficulties with one of the tasks, and well, I sent it to them, and not only did the person confirm that they were also having the same exact issue, but it was probably, they mentioned the fact that it probably would take a little bit longer to try to fix the issue than what they were kind of prepared for. So, um, needless to say, they informed me that they took out that particular task. Um, personally, I would have liked to have kind of seen them, fix it and then, you know, keep the task in and fix it because obviously, it's still a function of that particular mission. I mean, it's still part of that mission to kind of go through that process to learn how to build something like that. Um, so for those of you that are still, trying to work on Pega, um, I'm sorry that um, I kind of took that out for you, and then I took it out, basically, I said, hey, you have a problem here. This is causing problems, and they were basically going, okay, we'll just remove it completely. It's like, no. Um, so, um, yeah, would have liked to have seen, um, a little bit of a, not so much what, they were, what they did, but more, um, the idea of just try to fix it and then get it right back up there so that everybody can kind of, you know, it's a win-win for everybody. But that wasn't the case right at this moment in time. Now, will they re-add it later? I don't know. I don't know. I would hope that they will, but um, it's hard to say what will happen at that point. I also don't really know what would happen to anybody that was like maybe trying to currently work on it themselves, um, or if maybe they were, um, um maybe they already finished it and somehow, you know, removing that task somehow changed that achievement or something like that. I don't know. Not sure what would happen in that particular case, but um, so yeah. Uh, so I'm gonna attempt doing that exercise again for the third time. And obviously, it's going to take a little bit of time to go through all the steps again. Um, but I mean, I was able to kind of complete, I was able to go through those steps fairly quickly last time. But obviously, it was taking a little bit of time on that last part to go through it and handle it. Now, um, I would suggest um, that if anybody's watching these videos after the fact, um, go back to that one particular section, or go back to that one challenge and rework it. Because if that portion of the exercise is gone, then you're not going to have any kind of reinforcement there. So go back to the challenge, redo it, change it up, modify it, so on and so forth. You know, um, get it burned in your brain because the exercise has been modified. Okay, wanted to kind of get that out of the way. Um, so um, let me go through, who I am and what this is about. Okay. First off, I am someone that is trying to work on his certification for the system architect. Okay. Um, I may try to get the business architect certification as well because they're pretty much similar in both ways. Well, actually, the business architect really is not that much different than the system architect. Okay, there's only two modules that are different in the business architect, and that's it. Now, obviously, system architect is more advanced because it covers um, more of the development side the um, of Pega, but um, you know, the business architect, you know, um, certification wouldn't necessarily hurt, I figure. Um, so that's that. That's who I am. Okay. Um, well, to a certain extent. Okay. I don't work for Pega. This is not endorsed by Pega. They're not like giving me some kind of bonus or pay or anything along those lines. Okay. I send in suggestions to them, and they may or may not fix them. Um, that's their prerogative. Okay. That's about as far as our communication relationship is. Okay. Um, they're not in like constant contact with me. Most contact that I have with them is problems that I find with their topics or challenges or exercises in a particular case. Um, so um, that's the relationship that is basically non-existent with me and Pega. Okay. Um, what you need to expect is that I am not an authorized training partner, and this is not an instructor-led training. Okay. Um, an authorized training partner should train you properly in everything that is Pega. Um, and instructor-led training should be, someone from Pega that will teach you everything that there is to learn about Pega, answer your questions, and be able to provide you with details about Pega that you can then take and finish off your certification fairly easily. One would assume, um, but I will state that I have had an authorized training partner before, and well, me and a bunch of others in my particular training group went self-study It was not ideal. Um, uh, the company itself should have done something about it, but they didn't. And so a lot of people struggled. And it, you know, but that's in the past. We're looking towards the future now. So, still working towards the certification myself. So we got a ways, still got a ways to go. Um, uh, okay, this is odd. I had all three missions here before. Okay. Um, so senior system architect. There it is. That was odd. That was a little different. All right. Sure. All right. So, um, I was about to say that we are close to finishing off the second mission in the system architect, you know, full mission, which in a sense is the second mission in the business architect. They're the same. The two missions are exactly the same for both of these. Okay, so you complete one mission there, you complete the other mission there. You complete the second mission there, you complete the second mission here. So, it's essentially the same. Okay, the only two, and the only difference with the business architect is these two additional modules here that we will cover after we are done with the second mission. Okay, I'll cover these two modules, and for any of you that are looking through these video series that are following me along on streaming or whatnot for this, um, you know, you can also maybe attempt the business architect as well. Um, I will recommend that study, take some like practice quizzes or something along those lines before you attempt the business architect certification. Because, um, well, let me put it this way. Okay. If you have a question that basically says, "Hey, you need to provide two out of the four answers given," and you miss one of those two, you're gonna get the question wrong. Okay, so you have to be absolutely certain of your answers in the certification. If you're not certain, you're gonna be missing a lot of questions, and um, you're not gonna get enough to pass the certification. Okay. Last time I tried the certification, I was 6 answers below the minimum. Okay. Which, needless to say, wasn't exactly great, anyway, because the percentage is already, fairly low. Um, but one of the issues that I had with it was the fact that they included keywords that were in Pega 7 when I was trying to do 8.6. So, and unfortunately, in 8.6, they don't reference the 7 keywords, or the Pega 7 keywords. So, um, and yes, those keywords have changed. Um, It's just unfortunate that they don't address that in the topics and the like. It'd be nice if they did, because then when you're talking to like a senior manager that might have only gotten their certification 7 or 6, um, you can maybe talk with them more if you knew what keywords that they were talking about. Like they may say, you know, hey, I need you to work on the work basket. And you're going to be like, wait a minute, what do you mean by work basket? I have no idea what you mean by work basket. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Um, so, um, you need to know, you know, um, now one could say like, hey, if they've gotten Pega 6, Pega 7, then maybe they should be kind of working on Pega 8. But let's face it though, okay, sometimes when you're in the business world, one, the company might not be paying for your training in staying up to date, and two, um, you might not have the necessary um, um, like mentorship. You know, I mean, hell, I haven't gotten any kind of well, barely any kind of mentorship at all in my, you know, when I've tried to grow as a software developer, and that's sad. That's a really sad prospect there because, um, if any of you are out there that are leads or your senior managers or something along those lines, mentor your new hires, mentor your entry levels. Okay, because not only would you learn, potentially something new, but you're giving them your knowledge about how to how to handle, you know, dealing with the code that you've dealt with in the past. Okay, give them those little tricks, and tips and so on and so forth. Let them learn from you. Please, I beg of you, because you know, um, you know, if you're a mentor to an entry level, okay, then that entry level, becomes more knowledgeable. They can handle more things that, you know, might make things easier for you. Okay. You won't need to be stressed. You might not necessarily need to be on call all the time. You know, um, you can reliably hand it over to your entry level so that they can handle the problem reliably. And I say, and I mean reliably, because if you give it to them without any, if they're not extremely knowledgeable about what they're facing, then you throw them into the deep end, and they don't necessarily, they might not swim very well. They might flounder quite a bit, and how's that going to look to you, the manager, when you know, when your entry levels are flopping around? Okay, not quite sure on how to address the problem. So mentor, please, you know, um, take that time, you know, even if it's like an hour a day or something like that, you know, um, because that helps. That hour helps, you know. Um, take a little bit of time in your work schedule. Okay, this goes for businesses too. To train. Somehow businesses have lost that, and they need to regain that. this idea that we don't care about training employees anymore. We want to get people that are instantaneously knowledgeable about everything that we do at the company. That's bullshit. It's just plain old bullshit. You know, you need to be able to teach your new hires on how to do the work. Okay? If you're not training them on how to do the work, then they won't know, you know, the ins and outs of, your business. And they're they're just gonna they're gonna make assumptions, and guess what? That's gonna cause problems for your business. So, don't make those mistakes. Don't, you know, do the mentorship, and you build trust, you build loyalty. You build teamwork. It's like, it's mental sometimes how easy it could be, but um, it's just kind of frustrating that um, that's kind of gone. You know, support others. Basically, the basics of it all. Support others. That goes for work and your real life. You know. Okay, sorry. I'll get off the soapbox now. But all right. Sorry, I got majorly sidetracked there. So um, once we're done with the system architect, and we may go on to the senior system architect to try to learn a little bit more, try to gain a little bit more insight in it all, and try to figure out um, how to deal with the um, yeah. Sorry, I'm losing my mind here. Lost my train of thought. Okay, let's just get into the exercise here. So, um, once again, we are back to the low code app builder extended mission exercise. In this scenario, U plus bank provides people. Well, actually, hold on. Before I do this, I'm going to reset the instance because, as you can see, the um, the one of the tasks is gone. There used to be 9, but now there's 8. So, okay. U Plus Bank provides people with the financial products needed to achieve their financial goals. As part of its digital transformation, the U Plus Bank is creating a web-based account management application built on Pega platform. U Plus wants to provide potential customers with the ability to open a new checking, savings, and investment account online through this application. To open an account, the customer completes the following process. Customer selects one of the financial products offered by U Plus Bank. Customer identifies the owner and any owners of the account. Customer commits to funding the account with an initial deposit and identifies accounts at other financial institutions from which funds are transferred to complete the deposit. To complete the account opening process, the application emails a summary of the transaction to the customer. This email confirms the selections made during the process. Okay, so um, so we're going to wait for the instance to come on up. Then we're going to um, most likely, go through the first 6 steps fairly quickly. last time I did it, we got through it in 30 minutes or so. The last two here, I've yet to get to because it kept on getting blocked. So uh, these last two might take a little bit longer, probably a good 30 minutes themselves. So, all right, here we go. All right, now, to as so that you're aware. Okay, I'm gonna switch this guide here. Okay, I'm gonna move this over to another window that I can look at the instructions fairly quickly, and um, I can quickly get through the exercise, quickly. If you are, if you want to know what exactly I'm doing, um, you're gonna need to, you know, um, you know, grab those instructions yourself and see, and kind of follow along. Okay. So, but right now, while it loads, we're gonna be moving on to the first task. So, I'll try to explain at least, where I'm at so you're aware of, everything that I'm kind of doing. Now, what I'm a little worried about is what will happen, um, at step 7 or task 7, task 8, and the very end of the exercise. Will it still see, the original task 6 or 7 and, you know, has a problem with it? I don't know. In the Pega App Studio, I don't know. I don't want to show my location. Okay, so I might be missing a little bit of chat here, but I'm gonna move this over a little bit so that I can kind of keep an eye on the instructions. So obviously you guys can't see it, but so if anybody's like chatting with me right now on stream, then it might be a little rough. So don't need to save it. Loading in for a while. Okay, there we go. Case types. Open account. All right. So we need to do the identify owner. We need to add a new step in there for search duplicate cases, which is an automation. Okay. Nope, stay on there. Okay, so we're adding a basic condition. Um, Choose account type is the same. Need weighted conditions at 50. And then we add in the weighted conditions. So this one was 30. Um, okay, account data relationship, we want the name. And we are equal to account data relationship name. There we go. And it was 30, right? Yeah, it was 30. Okay. We need to add in another weight of 25. This one is the owner, which I need the last name for. And we're selecting the owner last name and as the other field. So there we go. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and save that. Okay, and once it's done saving, then we'll verify mission exercise. Okay, done saving, verify mission. And it gives me 100 out of 100. Moving on to test 2. Okay, so um, okay. So on this one, we have optional actions. So we need to create a specify initial deposit. Wait, hold on. User actions. Specify initial deposit. There it is. Okay, it's going to be a custom condition, which we then need to modify. Okay, so fields, deposit amount is not equal to the funding total. Let's see. Okay, that should be fine. And save it. And we'll go ahead and go back to the life cycle. Then we will verify mission exercise. And 100% on all those. So we move on. Task number 3. So let's see. Add a decision shape to the collect owner information process. So this is where we go into the flow chart. Um, we add in the decision where we then modify the name there, add co-owners, then let's see, we'll take that, move that down to here, and we'll add this into here, and then we'll add that into there. There we go. And then we're removing this because we're just having the the single condition here about checking for ad owner. So add co-owner is true. Then we go to the add co-owners. Otherwise, we go to the end. And that's it. Save. And then back to stages and steps, and that should be perfectly fine. We are done with that particular portion of the exercise. So, and that's 100%. Moving on to task 4. All right. So configure a custom condition on the choose account process. So we need a custom condition there that we are going to go ahead and modify. So we are looking for the guidance level. Choices. No, I know what product I want. Okay, so as I've stated this before, but no, I'll continue to state it again. Okay, so if someone's if the person selects in the guidance level here that no, I know which product I want, it will start the process. Okay, so if it's equal to, then they'll go into their choose account, and then it will eventually change to the application stage. Okay, and we'll go into this process and we'll do those 2 steps. Otherwise, if um, if the choice is yes, I need some guidance, then it will go on to the selection wizard. Okay, so that's all you need that's all you need to do on that. So we are going to go ahead and save it. Yes, I have not saved it yet. And then we're going to go ahead and verify mission exercise, and that should be done. 100%. Awesome. We're moving on. All right, task number 5. So, um, so here, um, what was it again? We had um, I believe we are adding a step here. Automations, create case. Which we want um, the select account, transfer information to new case, and we do the choose account type. And that should be good for the open account. Everything is being saved there, so we're going to go ahead and okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and copy this and pass it on to um, the devs there because you know, I keep on seeing this and it doesn't seem to want to go away. So um, I want to make sure that we are covering all of our bases here. So. Or you know, I want them to know like, hey, I'm dealing with this as well. So there we go. Okay. Let me go down and suggest an edit. Um, when trying to switch from open to select um, case type, I keep getting unsaved changes even though I've saved each time for each task. So I'm wondering what exactly is it referring to here? I'm on the task of handling the guidance step where I need to transfer over to the select case type to make sure that um, new isn't in the menu. Okay. Attach the image. There we go, and submitting. Okay. just gonna go ahead and move on, like what we normally do. Again, I don't know why it keeps on bringing up that window pop-up. Not sure what's going on there. I'm gonna reset the case types. Okay, so what they're referring to in select account case type to not be displayed in a new menu is, settings for the select account in general and show new menu. It's not checked off, so it's already not going to be showing up in a menu for new. So this is kind of a wasted step. So I'll go ahead and save it again, but I mean it's pointless. You didn't need to do anything here on that. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and verify the mission exercise, and everything should be fine. Uh oh, I missed a step. Oh right, almost forgot. Um, I missed the um, where is it? Um, Configure the open account case to pause processing until the user resolves all select account cases. Okay, so I forgot to do that step. So I need to add in the automation um, for waiting. And then of course I need to make sure that everything is done here properly. There we go. All select accounts to be resolved. So there we go. Now it should be fine. Yep, there we go. Alright, so we're on to task number 6. Okay, so configure the specify initial deposit. So we're on there. Configure the view. Doing validations. Adding the condition. So if the initial deposit is less than 25, then deposit amount can't be less than $25. If it's a greater than or equal to, it continues on. So, all right, saving that. Uh-oh. Having some issues with the mission here. Hold on. I'm going to refresh it here real quick. There we go. Okay, and task number 6 is done. Okay, so we're going on to a new um, we're going on to a new part of the exercise here, 7 and 8, that I haven't done prior. So, and obviously we're making some good time on this, but um, so here we need to create a customer portal. So um, so customer. Um, let's see. Um, Description. They don't say anything for the description, so customer portal. I'll just do it that way. Okay. Okay, so home isn't in there. We have dashboard and pulse that are supposed to be in there, but they're not there at this moment. So let's go ahead and remove these others. Um, let's see, we want um, we want to add my work in there. Wait, hold on. What's going on here? Hold on. Ah, no. Frack. Did it really just do that? Okay. Well, let's try this again. Um, there we go. Let's see. We don't need home. We don't need spaces. We don't need reports. We don't need Explorer. Dashboard. Um, no items and landing pages. Well, my work can be added, and pulse can be added, and open account. So we want open account as the start page, which, that's what this is all about. And then we want to add my work, dashboard, and pulse, as the landing pages. So um, configure the customer portal to align a side dollar logo and channel header to display the application name and channel name. So we do configuration. Um, we need a custom logo of the dollar sign, and then we have the application and channel name, and there's that. And let's go ahead and save it. I think that's all that we really need to do for the customer portal. So I think that's all we need to do there. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Is it under user management for creating personas again? Yeah, okay. So we want to add a customer persona. I'm gonna just go ahead and select you know, another profile picture there. That's different from the first two that are given. Um, and then okay. Hold on. Backing up. Portals and pages. Um, we want the customer as the default channel. Um, and we want them to have the dashboard. Um, open account, pulse, and my work. Um, Landing pages. So we'll go ahead and save that. Okay, configure the open account landing page to show the deposit amount. Um, hmm. Um, Not quite sure where to go for the open account landing page. It might actually be in preview. Um, Switch over to customer. Okay. Hmm. Add Hmm. I don't know if that's correct yet or not. I don't know if that's right. Oh, I'm just having a bit of a problem here. Hold on, I'm gonna go full screen on this right at this time. Um, hmm. Is that what they're looking from me on this one? Just adding in the deposit amount? Let me see. It looks like everything's pretty much done, but let me verify mission exercise and see if that's what they wanted. That is what they wanted. Okay, so um, the table in the open account summary page displays a column for the deposit amount field. Awesome. Okay, we got it. I wasn't 100% sure on that one, so that's why I was a little it said configure the open account landing page to show the deposit amount, and I'm like, how? So, um, the tip says you can use design mode to add columns to the table, but I was like, okay, I'm not 100% sure of, as to what they were kind of looking for on that, but okay. Task 7 is done. So, um, so we're moving on to task 8. So, invite a branch manager as a new user named new branch manager at U plus F and assign the user to the manager's persona. Modify the default dashboard for the user portal to include the average duration per flow task report in the analyze performance category at the top of slot 1. So, um, so we're going to users. We're going to user management. Um, let's see. Um, no, that's not what I want. Nope. don't think I can find it here. Invite people to your application. There we go. Okay, so we're adding that. We're putting them under managers. And then we add. Okay. Send the user to the manager's persona. Modify the default dashboard for the user portal to include average duration per flow task report. Okay, so we're closing that out. We're going back to the dashboard for the user portal. Let's see. Preview, design, okay, hold on. Hmm. I'm not quite sure what they're wanting me to do on this one again. Modify the default dashboard for the user portal to include the average duration per flow task report in the analyze performance category at the top of slot 1. not seeing anything here that I really want to try to work on there. Oh boy. How? Here, let me go back home there. Top of slot 1. What exactly does it mean by top of slot 1? Do they mean maybe top of slot A? So, where is the reports? Yes, that's not here either. Hmm. I might be looking in the wrong section here there, folks. Alright, well, time for me to look at the exercise solution, because I don't know. User management, people, add people, right? Add in the manager email, select that over to managers, add. Okay. They wanted me to copy the password for the managers there. Not quite sure exactly why. Oh, we're in the dashboard? Hold on a second. Oh, modified the default dashboard. Right. Okay. So, in slot 1, we want to add the widget for the average duration per flow task. Probably the report widget, add selected. And then the report widget. Analyze performance. Average duration per flow task. Save that. Move that to the very top. Move it to the very top. And then publish. Exit preview. Save. And we should be good. Nope, not completely. Okay, what am I missing here? Default dashboard includes a report widget that displays the average duration per flow task report. But I did that though. Hmm. Preview, user portal, dashboard, average duration per flow task. It's there though. What am I missing here? Okay, hold on. Let me look back at the video again because something happened. Okay, so add widget, right? Go down to report widget, which is right. Add that in. Sounds good. Move that to the very top, right? Click on report widget, select analyze performance, which we did. Right. Save that. There it is. Oh, okay. I see what. Instead of sitting doing publish, they did publish to default. So that's what it was all about. Gotcha. Okay, so now it should work. Okay. Um, so does it mean that I'm completed with this? It's not really giving me any like completed status on this right at this moment in time, so I'm not 100% sure here. Hold on. How did I know? Um, I'm gonna just go back through all these, verifying the mission exercise, tasks 1 through 8. But it's not giving me the notification that it has been fully completed. Task 7. Task 8. And that's it. There's nothing else here. So when I return to mission and I go to low code app builder extended, it isn't giving me the completed status on the mission exercise. Unfortunately, there isn't any um, okay, let me go ahead and do another snipping tool. Okay. I knew that this was probably gonna happen. I mean, as soon as they mentioned the fact that they removed one of the tasks and that they said that they could, and I could complete it. I'm like, okay, but you know, that leaves the question of like how, does the academy know that you took out the task and therefore, will it actually mark it as completed? And well, based off of the information here, um, actually you're not really seeing it here. Let me switch on over to the other one here. So yeah, so you know, there's nothing here. Let me go back here and I'll show you what I mean. Going down to the very bottom here, and it is not giving me that check mark completed on the mission exercise. So um, completed the exercise after the removal of the bug task. However, the mission is not crediting me the completed status for the exercise. Most likely due to the removal of the task, of the bug task, it is still waiting for 9 tasks when there is only 8 available. Um, I'll leave the instance alone. Actually, hold on, let me put in the instance number there. And I'll double check the results on Monday or Tuesday. Let me know when I can verify mission SSIs properly. Thank you for your hard work. There we go. All right. Well, that's it for Pega there, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and close on down for this. We're gonna switch on over to um, video uploads. I've got about 30 more minutes till I start up Warframe. So, but for anybody that is, that is kind of wondering, um, you know, hopefully there won't be any additional problems for this. We'll see. Um, it's just been such, you know, it it's been a problem, obviously, but um, we'll have to wait until they can fix the issue before I can get that little completed status there. Um, Again, I would have kind of preferred having that last task in there or the bug task, so that I can refresh on how to go about handling that. Um, but again, uh, the you know I obviously I made some mistakes during the exercise run, and I'm aware of that. But I mean, um, obviously I have to be aware of that. I have to look at the instructions that everybody, that is given to me. Okay. Um, so, make sure that you follow those instructions to the T. Because apparently, like I mentioned before, the fact that I missed that the default dashboard, um, you know, was a problem. So, um, and to be fair, when we go to the certification exam, they're probably gonna get hit you with keywords like that sometimes. You know, so you know, read read the instructions carefully. Now, I put myself on a rush because I wanted to try to complete the exercise within a short amount of time, so the video wouldn't be super long for anybody that's watching it. But because I did that, because I rushed, I made the mistake of not looking at the instructions completely, and well, um, you know, I made that mistake. I didn't know exactly where to go. I was quite confused by, top of slot one. I'm like, going, where's slot one? I don't see it. Um, so that falls on me. That the fact that I didn't uh, follow, properly follow the instructions. So, um, as you know, when you're out in the real world, when you're, doing work, if they tell you, hey, you need to do this at this particular spot, and you know, and you're not quite sure where that spot is, or like, you somehow confused, like, oh, did they mean front end or back end, or or something along those lines? Okay, um, that could cause you a lot of hardship, and they're not gonna, your manager, your lead is gonna be looking at you and going, "What the hell are you doing?" You're screwing up on some basic tasks here that I wanted you to deal with. Now, now let's face it, there might be something that they might present to you that you might not be completely comfortable with. Okay, you might not be fully ready for. Okay, you haven't dealt with that particular situation, all the time, so it's not like ingrained in your brain. Okay. Um, Now, technically, you should be able to go to your lead in this particular case, or if there's no lead, your manager, and basically ask them, I'm sorry, I'm not quite familiar with what you're asking me to do on this particular task. Could you give me um, some more information as to where I need to go in order to complete this, or something along those lines? Okay, it all depends on what they're asking, and how they want you to go about doing that. Okay, if you're not quite sure where you need to go, then feel free to ask. If you're not quite sure, what you know what they want you to do, like maybe they want you to, put in a specific algorithm that you maybe never dealt with before, you know, then ask them about, what it is that they want on it. Because if I mean, you can surely you can look it up and try to figure it out yourself. You know, feel free to do so, because let's face it, you can't um, your manager, your lead might not always be there for you to get those questions answered. So there will be times where you might need to take it upon yourself to get the work done. Okay, no matter what. Okay, but here's the thing: if you're struggling, okay, for 15, 30, an hour or so, or even longer, trying to get a task that they deem to be very simple for you to do, then they're going to be looking at the fact that, you know, um, if you don't give them results in a timely fashion, then they're going to be looking at you and going, well, I can't necessarily trust that person anymore. Now, if you go up to them and say, hey, listen, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're asking me to do. Even at the very beginning, like if they basically say, "Hey, I want you to build, give me the A star algorithm, for you know, for the for all these AI models or something along those lines," okay? And you've never dealt with that before, then ask them. You know, don't uh, don't go, "Yeah, sure, I know what to do," and proceed to screw up, okay? Because um, let's face it. Um, talking with your manager, talking with your lead, and getting the right solution is way better than you fudging the results, fudging the code, okay, messing up the code, and causing a ripple of bugs, okay? Because sometimes what you do might not necessarily reflect, directly back on you, okay? It might cause a problem in like another part of the code, you know, and therefore they might be looking at, they might try to go, wait, why is this section all of a sudden failing on me? What's going on here? And they might start looking at that section and going, why is this breaking all of a sudden? It worked before. No, I don't understand. When in fact, it could be your code that did the problem, that was causing the problem. Okay, so be careful with that. Be aware um, that you know sometimes it's better to ask and be sure than make an assumption and cause a lot of bugs. So that's my advice. So um, but okay, that's where I'm gonna close down on this Pega video. So hope you enjoyed. Feel free to do the normal YouTube thing of liking and all that. That would be fantastic for myself. Would allow the channel to grow, to expand, and do more. So um, hopefully you can help me out with that. Um, but yeah, that's where we're gonna go ahead and end off. Like I said, moving on to video uploads, and then we're gonna do Warframe after that. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording now,